Hey guys, you're watching Social Chatter, your weekly social media marketing talk show. My name is Chris Savage, CEO and founder of socialchefs.com, and we've got a fantastic show for you this week. This is episode 181, and so I'm going to pop on. I'm going to say a quick hello. Hey guys, how are you doing? So, got a fantastic show for you. It's going to be myself, Phil, and we're going to have on guest Troy Sanders. So for those of you watching, I have a Facebook watch party that'll be starting here, but you can also go to socialchefs.com/BeLive and start your own watch party as well from the video. And bring your friends in, have conversation as things are going on. So let me go and bring on Phil. Phil, how are you doing this week?
Hey, Christian, what's up, man? It's good to see you again.
Good to see you as well. So we have a great show for you this week.
Yeah.
You want to introduce viewers to Troy?
Yeah, for sure. So if you don't know Troy Sandage, he's a freaking genius. He's super smart. He lives in the Chicago area. His personal mantra, I love this: imagination is the engine, content is the fuel, social media is the highway, marketing is the roadmap, sales is the destination. So he's fantastic. If you're not familiar with Troy, find him on all the social channels as Find Troy, right? Pretty simple there. He's doing a lot more speaking. He's just rocking the house. So I'm excited to have him here. He's with Next Gen Dynamics. So really excited to hang out with Troy today.
So let's go and bring on Troy. Troy, how are you doing?
Feeling pretty good. Episode 181, so I'm feeling that number.
There you go. We're glad you're here, buddy.
Thanks, guys. I'm with the legends, so I appreciate it.
There you go. Legends in our own mind.
Beyond that.
Thanks. And it's bright and squirrely where you are, Troy. It's 7 o'clock in Chicagoland. So is it later in the day or less degrees today?
Well, hopefully it warms up a little bit. We're still kind of freezing cold. The winter will not leave us alone. I want to be in Tampa right now, but it is what it is.
There you go. Well, come on down, man. The weather's nice here.
My God. Yeah, I will. Next time I definitely will, for sure.
There you go. Next winter.
The whole winter.
That's it. Yeah, bring the whole family.
Yes.
That's it. So, Christian, we got a lot of great stuff this week, man. Where do we want to start this week?
We have a lot of topics. I mean, I think that we should probably maybe start with, let's see, you want to start with a little Facebook?
Yeah, let's start with some Facebook. I like the fact that Facebook now is, whoa, that's interesting. What the hell is that? So I like the fact that Facebook now is letting you share events and stories. I think what that was is so websites, stop with the autoplay music and videos. Stop. That's so 1997. Just knock it off. You're just annoying me. You make me never want to go back there. So anyway, so we've got an article this week that Facebook lets you share events and stories. This is very, very interesting for lots and lots of reasons. And I could talk for weeks about just this one. But Troy, I'm going to throw it to you first, buddy, because you're our guest. What do you think is going on here? And how do you think people are going to leverage this?
I mean, I still don't think Facebook stories are as powerful as Instagram stories. I don't feel that way. I'm hearing interference.
I think Christian's trying to DJ there.
Oh, I felt that. Okay.
Actually,
just making sure. I can see it being a benefit from obviously Facebook business pages. The biggest thing for me is if I'm scrolling, wow, I get events right away because we don't know where all the events are coming from. Do I think it'll get a lot of traction? I'm not sure. I do feel that nonprofits will probably use it the most efficiently, or at least try to do it the most. Outside of that, I don't see it taking a lot of traction early on.
What about you, Christian?
I think that Facebook stories are definitely, I don't think that a lot of people are using them as much because they really don't know what do I post on a story versus a post, what goes here, what goes there. Now, as far as events go, I think events are always a bit of a challenge. For example, I'm currently at, we hear about events mostly just word of mouth, and a lot of people, they have the Facebook events app, and some things show up, and sometimes they don't. So I think if we get some traction with this, definitely. But at the moment, I think it's a good feature to have, but there's a lot more they need to do with getting people to be more, let me share events on Facebook versus just sharing posts, telling people about the event. That's really kind of what I think at the moment.
Interesting. Well, I think this is just the start of a trend to bring Facebook a little bit more private, a little bit more intimate, and allow us, right? Because if we've got an event, well, if I'm trying to move you to stories right now, now it's private and I can share stories with a custom audience. This makes it a little bit different, right? I can have a story with just the three of us. Whereas on Facebook, right, I have to set up a group. I got to go through this. And I'm curious to that point. I'm wondering if those groups and those lists that we set up before, if those are going to carry through to messenger lists. Because, not a lot of people know even about that feature. But I can tell you that is an interesting opportunity, because to that point, I want to do everybody to an event except my girlfriend. Because right, it's a surprise party for her, right? And I don't want her to know. So not because I don't want her to come, Troy. I know what you're thinking, man. No, that's not it, right? So a surprise party, right? So I want to do that. Or I have a list of, everybody except for, crazy cousin Jimmy on my list, right? Because every time he comes to the party, he licks people. So that's out too. So I don't know. I think this is a very interesting opportunity for us. I think this could really have some big implications, but it's just the start of something big. That's what I think.
Does it seem desperate though? Because I think most of the user base, again, really don't use Facebook stories. Because again, if you're already on Instagram, it's kind of, what's the point? Now I could see it if it's on Instagram, sure. And then many of us, we already have the automatic setting. We post Instagram stories, it goes to Facebook stories. I do think the individuality component is very powerful. But I feel like there's other avenues that's already allotted to us to do that same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, not new functionality, but certainly, if they want to keep people on Facebook, this is one way to do it. If you want to make more messenger apps, more messenger ads, this is a way to do it. Because here's the thing: if I put on my Facebook page, message me, nobody does. Like, nobody cares, right? There's nothing there. But now I'm inviting you to an event. Whoop, whoop. Come hang out at my event. And now share your pictures. And then if I let you, eventually, I bet that we'll let people share. They'll do UGC, right? User-generated content in their stories. So that now Christian attended my event. So now he can share his best hits. And Troy, you can share yours. And now look at this. I've got a Facebook story and I didn't have to do anything except for maybe a little bit of moderation. That's kind of nice. But I'm with you, buddy. It's the same, right? It's not different. It's the same as every other platform. Christian, I'm sorry, I cut you off, brother.
I was gonna say, no, I think those are both great points. And I brought up here in the viewer, how people can see that you have the ability to share your posts into stories, and then obviously into events as well. And I actually talked about this on a previous show. How they were testing this. So I kind of agree. With the fact that this has a lot of use for stories.
Yeah, it could be. So we'll see. But it's interesting. And Barb says that it's about focusing on niche audiences, and it's not desperate, and it's smart marketing. So yeah, I think, right, sometimes desperation and smart marketing, right, it's totally in the eye of the beholder. So I think you're both right, Barb and Troy, on that. Because Facebook likes to rip and tear other people's ideas. Here's one more.
Here's one more.
Yeah. So cool. And yeah, that CNET story is the one that's got the awesome autoplay on. So CNET, please stop. Just please stop, or we're not going to use your stuff anymore, because we can't have that. Like, The Empire Strikes Back is not the right music for this show. We're going to get in trouble for doing that stuff. So no autoplay music. That's just bad.
And by the way, if you do happen to have some autoplay music that comes up in the tab, one thing you can do is you look in the tab. There actually is an audio icon that will appear in the tab, so you can quickly find a which one, you need to close or mute or turn off.
Right.
Yeah. Right click, mute tab on the top if you're in Chrome. That's immediately what I did, and so we didn't get too much little wiki. That's Phil the DJ at Troy, if you're not sure. So that's pretty powerful, huh? So cool. Well, let's move on. We got another Facebook story here. Showcase for premium video advertisers, which we know that Facebook likes to roll out their best features to their biggest money people first.
Right.
So while this is not, this by design, right, this is not the biggest thing that's going to happen for us as small businesses. If you're managing a big brand and you're doing this, my goodness, this is stuff. This is big stuff, right? This is really, really fascinating stuff, because in-stream reserve categories, basically, if you've got enough money, you're going to be able to force your way into the network. You're going to be able to force your way in front of us, removing exactly why people used to like social media, which is less ads and I can hide you. And now, not so much. I don't know. Troy, much ado about nothing, or you think this is potentially big news?
I think it's big news. It's still 2-1 that people are going to use Facebook over any other app. Check it more than any other app from all genders, all age groups, the whole shebang. So for me, do I want more ads? No, obviously not. If it's me, Troy, the marketer, who's representing a humongous brand who has a whole bunch of money, oh yeah, let's get it. High potential for more profitability, revenue, more brand awareness, the whole shebang there too. Do I feel like, okay, Facebook's taking that extra step to now compete harder with YouTube? Yeah. Is it smart? Yes. Obviously, you want to monopolize the whole platform and the user base. Are people going to complain? Yes. Are they going to revolt? A little bit. Are they going to leave? No, they're not. We're addicted to Facebook like anything else. It's not going to go away anytime soon. We'll just adjust and adapt like we always do when something happens. I'm curious to see how it does when it really goes hard that first quarter for big brands who do take part in it. At the same time, we'll see how the user base responds,
Yeah, that's always an interesting point, right? Because as a marketer, we look at that, but really our real thought always needs to be on how's our customer going to use this? Yeah. Are they going to be interested? Are they going to revolt? Are they going to, I'm tired. This is boring. But I do think they already said 100 million ads, 100 million people in the US watch in-stream reserve eligible content each month, which is, my goodness gracious, that's fascinating. And that's defined as 1 minute watching a video at least 3 minutes in length. So fascinating that they'd have that time frame on there, because right, we thought the trend was to short, but maybe the trend is the longer and more awesome.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that they'll try to do a kind of like YouTube Red, a Facebook version to kind of negate that in any way in the future?
Ooh, yeah, that's a really good question. I think that makes some sense, but that's never been Facebook's model, right? Facebook is not good at the subscription thing, though, the next thing we're going to talk about is Facebook at work.
Right.
And, that's really interesting, Troy, to think about, right? That's really, really interesting to think about, because I don't know, man. I mean, are you going to pay $2 for Facebook?
I mean, we live in a world where we'll pay for subscriptions haphazard without even thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? We're used to that whole situation.
Yeah, but haven't we been conditioned, though?
Yeah.
To not having that?
Well, if it's $2 a month, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's true. No, I agree with that, right? I think that's true. That's a really good point. I mean, $2 a month isn't a lot, but I'll tell you though, like, they need eyeballs more than they need subscriptions. Because the data.
Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, I mean, the data is the value.
Do you feel that puts more pressure on the creators or big brands to make obviously captivating to get them going through, because the ads may deter them from continuing on watching?
I think so. Yep, absolutely. Right. Who likes a mid-video roll ad? Christian, you like mid-video roll ads?
No, thank you.
Right? No, thank you. So I don't know, Christian, what do you think about this, buddy?
I think it's a good feature that they're adding. I kind of to Troy's point. I actually think the issue is more the content creators. I think that people are just trying to turn out content, without really a strategy, cohesive strategy to understand kind of how things work. And I think that is mainly due to the fact that the bar is so low. Anybody can start a Facebook page and buy some likes and all that sort of stuff, which we don't condone doing. The buying part, and that is where you run into the trap, which is a lot of people get into. Then they start like thinking, "Hey, I'm successful with this," and then they start turning out junk. And I think that's where you run into a lot of problems.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, right? But to that point, it's absolutely going to crank up the storytelling potential here, because now you're going to have to think about 1 minute clips with a 30-second advertisement in the middle. Because right now, I'll tell you, the mid-roll advertising, it doesn't bother me. I watch a lot of sports, so I like Colin Cowherd and the guys, and Nick Wright, and they interrupt every third video. I get 1 or 2 ads, and it doesn't make me go away. But I got to tell you, I can't remember a single one of them, which is the opposite of what you're trying to advertise with, right? If the number one goal is awareness, what was that brand again? I don't see it. And I get the surveys. Hey, do you remember seeing anything in your feed for Flippity Gibbet? Nope, never seen that before. Well, that's a problem, right? That's zero ROI for those advertisers. So they've got to do a better job of targeting. And it's not just, the challenge is, I think, they put it in the middle of the video, but there's no relation to me.
Yeah.
Right? You buy on the herd, right? You listen to Colin Cowherd, you buy a show, or you buy a spot on the Colin Cowherd show, and it's not personal. It's like the opposite of what I want Facebook to be. It's like, hey, you should buy some new snow tires. No, I should buy Troy some snow tires. I'm in Florida.
Yeah,
I don't need any snow tires. So we have a GoFundMe. Christian, if you can drop the link for buytroysandagesnowtires.com, that'd be really nice, because I know he needs them. Right?
Yeah. I'll take them, even though the winter's almost over.
That's it, man. That's it. So yeah.
Fun fact, and I don't know, after me acknowledging this, is going to jinx myself. I have not seen a Facebook ad. Not one. Maybe I'm the anomaly. I am not kidding. I am not kidding.
Do you watch a lot? Do you watch a lot of Facebook Watch?
I'd say about maybe 20%
of
my time, to a certain degree. Me and my wife will sit next to each other. She'll get ads and I won't.
Wow.
It's weird. I don't know what it is.
You're untargetable, Troy. That's what it is, man. Untargetable. That's what you are. That's my Nat King Cole. What do you think? Are we going to get busted for too good of music, you think, this week?
No.
Probably not.
Am I required to now sing now, too? Is that where we're going at here?
Yeah. Yeah, and Christian will dance.
We need to make some arrangements. I'll make it happen, though.
That's it. So, so any of you musicians out there, drop a link to your fat beats so we can listen to them a little later in the show, right? So, I don't know. That's pretty bad. I'm sorry, Troy. I'm sorry. So you're probably, you're probably embarrassed to even be on the show with me now. I'm sorry.
Never, man. FBI conditioned me for anything. Let's. You can't throw anything at me now. I'm good. I'm good.
Funny. That's funny. So Barb is concurring with you, though. She said she saw her first one last night, Troy.
Wow.
So
okay. I'm not the only one.
No, you're not. So that's really interesting. Like, I guess I shouldn't be that surprised, because things that I've had for years, other people are just getting now, because every platform rolls out differently. I'm probably some sort of secret squirrel algorithm that gets advertisement ahead of time. So that's really interesting. Really interesting. So so we'll see what happens there. But that's cool. And hey, Tish, thanks. Tish says it's an awesome trio this morning. That's because Troy's bringing the noise. That's why. So we're excited. Yep. So wiki. See more beats. So that's all I got. So Yeah. So Christian, what you got? Any last words, last thoughts on this one, buddy?
I do not actually. I'm
All right.
excited about the next feature, which is
Cool.
Facebook passing 2 million paid users on Facebook Workplace.
Awesome. Yeah. So Facebook Workplace. This is really interesting. It's not Slack by any means, 2 million paid users, but it's telling me that companies are starting to trust Facebook with their employees' data. That's really, really interesting to me. And it proves that they do have a bit of a subscription model. Yeah. Not a big one, let's be clear, right? 2 million, it's by Facebook standards, right? By my standards, if I had 2 million users, Troy, I'd buy you a new car and snow tires.
Buy me a house.
A house. Yeah, one of them here in Florida, so we could do Social Chatter live. That's what I'm talking about, right? So this is interesting though. 2 million paid users. That's 20% of what Slack's got. Right. That's really, really interesting. And the first time that they shared back in 2007, they had 30,000 users. So in a year and a half, roughly, they just grew huge. So are you using Facebook at work, or have you ever used it?
So when it first came out, I'm like, no, this is going to tank. I instantly thought this was just a waste of time.
Okay.
Coworkers of mine, we already connect doing just regular Facebook. What can this offer me? And that could have been just because of the name. Try to be no bias. I'm a Slack user, but I'm just putting that out there. But for me, now that I see the numbers, okay, something's working for somebody. But here's my plot twist to this. Do you feel it's going to go up and then become a Google Plus?
Oh boy, yeah, that would suck, huh? So that's interesting. I don't know. I don't think. I think the thing about Google Plus that didn't work is the fact that they forced it, and that it was public, so there was no built-in affinity. You had to build your own audience. With Facebook at work, it's everybody on the same domain, right? So if I've got 100 people that I work with, it's only those 100 people that can get in. So naturally, we have some affinity. Naturally, we have more to talk about. So no, I do think it's going to go up. I don't think it's going to be like Google Plus. That being said, I do think it could be more like SharePoint, which is something Facebook throws in. Like Microsoft throws in SharePoint now. I remember back when SharePoint first launched, it was expensive. Then it became part of the enterprise subscription for us. And then it was like, ain't nobody got time for SharePoint. What a waste of my time. Because it wasn't very good. Now, that being said, the not very good to me means it's not very familiar.
Sure.
Right? And Facebook, my goodness gracious, there is no app that's ever been downloaded as often as Facebook.
Right.
There is no website that's ever had as many users as Facebook. Facebook is bigger than all but 3 countries? Holy crap, right? That's big, man. So I don't know though. Facebook at work, I'm going to tell you right now, I just don't believe that there's a separation of data. Okay. I don't believe that Facebook can separate between Phil Gerbishak, the social selling trainer, guy that's, lives in Florida, and Phil Gerbishak, the CEO of Digital Selling Strategies with 3 employees, right? I don't think that Facebook can do that. And I don't trust them. I don't have that level of trust. I see over and over and over, they have privacy breaches. They're talking about now they're going to bring everything onto one platform, right? We talked about this a couple weeks ago. They talked that they're going to make Messenger and WhatsApp and everything all one platform behind the scenes, which tells me that it's one data center, which tells me now you threw all my data in a blender and now you're going to advertise to me even more. I don't know. Christian, what do you think, man?
One, I'm excited to see that people started to use, Workplace by Facebook. Now, on the flip side of that, it's taking them a while to get there. I think it's going to stem from the fact that the company that is working with Facebook. So regardless of the privacy side of things and whatnot, I think the only way they're going to have to catch on is if more and more companies start to use this. 2 million users doesn't seem like a big number when you look at the number of Facebook users, but it's a big number when you look at companies. And a lot of companies have very strict social media policies. They've started to have strict social media policies because people go on and they're spending their time doing things that are not related. So I think this is a great move from that perspective. And I think it's going to take some time to get some traction, and they're going to have to win back the audience as well.
Yeah, well, but so the thing is, and I'm with you, right? I'm worried about the wasted time too, but it is fascinating. I've used Facebook at work. I was one of the first beta users because I worked for a software company years ago when this first launched. We were one of the first 5,000 companies to have it, and it really does. There's no chance that you're going to waste time if you stay just on Facebook at work, because there's no rabbit holes to run down. It's just work. So if the three of us work together, we could have a channel like Slack does, right? A channel that's all about the latest software release. We could have a channel that's all about the next software release. We could have a channel that's about what's for lunch. We could have a channel about all these things, and that's it. And typically you don't and this used to be in the listservs long 100 years ago, is there used to be like a slash everything or a slash funnies or whatever that was for goofing off, and now there's not. I don't know that it's even there. I don't even know if that's there. So I don't know. It's really interesting to see where this goes. Troy, do you guys use this at your organization?
I've never used it, and you're the only person I know who uses it.
I don't use it still. I have used it. Let's be clear. Yeah.
Other people that I know, to my knowledge, we haven't talked about it. And a quick question to anyone, even you guys or anyone's watching or replaying, have you guys seen any real hardcore promotion for it? I mean, no. I know when it first launched, but since then, I haven't really seen anything really pushing it out there. So seeing it grow that much must be really native to me.
Yeah, it is, right? So they haven't put this out very much at all. So that's but I would guess I don't have a company big enough that they're going to waste their time advertising to me. Facebook has enough data, Troy, to that point, right? That they're not targeting me, they're not targeting you, they're not targeting Christian, they're targeting the guy that's at Ford. They're going to target, so. But I used to see some ads for this again when I worked at the software company. I thought that was really interesting, right? So, but yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting. But Barb makes an interesting point here. Barb Tomlin says you need to research their data center projects. The data center quality is what's attracting enterprise users. That's very, very interesting. That would be a differentiator. But boy, do I want to store my data on Facebook? Do I trust them enough to not commingle my data with Facebook data? I don't know that I do.
You'd have to consider also third-party apps integrated with Facebook. So even though it might not be integrated from your work computer, if you're doing work on your phone and you have the Facebook app, it could some way interconnect that way too.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's always the challenge. I think with Facebook, they are so good. I mean, there was an article 2 weeks ago that said that they know that you're pregnant before you do because of the apps that they integrate with, because they buy it from a third party data vendor. That's really interesting. So that's a lot to overcome. That being said, is this just old people making decisions about stuff that younger people don't care about? I mean, we see that the age continues to skew up on Facebook. Right? It gets more and more and more in age, the average user. Does anybody that's in their 20s, Troy, I'm sorry, Troy, I'm just going to, I don't know how old you are. Are you in your
27?
27, okay. So is Facebook a trusted place for you, or is it just a place to play?
That's a good question. I think I'll answer this way. I think partially have to be unbiased because we're in the social media world, so we're like really narrow. But me as Troy, as just a user, it's kind of going back to, you know, your parents telling you, hey, don't post everything online. Don't connect everything that you just wouldn't do. Just keep it level. And I think being at a way now that I'm in a brand to some degree, as fine Troy on all platforms, I just treat it the same way. Would I say I trust Facebook for what I personally do? Yeah, I don't really care. At the same time, I've kind of accepted what's the value of privacy? I mean, at this day and age with everything and being interconnected as we have it now, can you really tell me how private and secure we are? I mean, the FCC, for crying out loud, we could have voted and we totally didn't, and it just went boom. And I don't think people even realize the reality of that even to this day. So do I trust Facebook? I enjoy the platform as a user. People my age, as I talk personally about, they're not even knowledgeable enough on that end. It's more like whatever the media pushes out that day about it. Oh my goodness, privacy. Oh my goodness. But on the day to day, I don't even consciously think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. What about you, Christian? What are you thinking, buddy?
But
About privacy, about Facebook?
I think overall, I think that they have to win back an audience. You know, a lot of people, like Troy said, they really don't stay up to date on Facebook. Kind of catch a piece of here, and then they have a problem when certain things happen. But overall, I think that, you know, again, Facebook's got to win back an audience. I think it's a bit of a delayed cycle because it's like you have the audience that doesn't really keep up with things, and they won't learn about it until, you know, a couple months later, for example, and it's like, oh, really? Wow, that actually happened. So,
Right on, right on. So cool. So all right. So we have one Twitter story to share this with you today. One Twitter story, and that is they're testing reply moderations, which I think is really interesting. Right, the fact that they could say, "Here's 10 replies, but yeah, Troy, yours, not so much. We're just going to take that one out, and we're going to isolate that. We're going to say, yeah, you know, I don't really want to hear that. I don't know. What do you think, Troy? Is this at all valuable?
This is a problem. This is a huge problem for me. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I can go politics. I can go NBA. I mean, if you aren't aware, I'm pretty big an NBA fan. Yep. Kevin Durant famously created all these fake accounts to defute haters or give him props. Now I get everyone's dealing with their own insecurities, and yeah, just because they make millions of dollars, they don't have insecurities too. Shout out to KD if you're ever watching, you know, give a shout out to us. But there's an issue there, and obviously the president of the United States, when he tweets every 2 seconds, and politics in general. I mean, the standard of what's fake news, what's not news. I mean, come on, guys. If we get to a point now where we're just giving trolls more fire. If we think, oh, we're going to tweet something and we delete it, but yet somebody somewhere in the world screenshotted the millisecond you posted it and got you, this hiding feature to me is just adding fire to it. Now, I know in the article, and I agree with some of the comments that were said, it comes off as Twitter being lazy. You know, oh, we're going to leave it to the hands of the users to, you know, modify and control the communication, the conversation. Yes, I do agree. Let's say, for example, you're a nonprofit doing a 24/7 event and you got trolls, you want to hide the negativity, I can see that. But at the same time, if you're having an actual conversation and it's a back and forth, a very pleasant debate, if you will, nothing slanderous, and you just hide comments that don't agree with you, it can be an issue.
You mean the popular girls aren't going to think you're popular just because you hid the nasty stuff that was said about you?
But yeah, it's crazy, right?
I mean, that's just idiotic. I can't get that. Now, what I am curious about is perhaps this then starts ticking boxes of here's an irrelevant user.
Sure.
Because I see a lot, you know, I mean, not to be political, but you know, if we pick on the president, right, a lot of the bots attack his account,
right,
for good or for bad. Right, attack is not necessarily a bad thing, right? They could, even if it's supportive or even if it's negative. I mean, it's just automated, right? So those bots that kind of sees that, perhaps now if it gets marked and muted enough, perhaps it just goes away, right? Perhaps that account eventually we realize, oh, well, that Phil Gerbishak, that account's just junk. Maybe it sends some signals back to Twitter, because I've not seen anything behind the scenes about what this actually means.
I think if I read that correctly, they can still see the hidden content. It's just assuming most of us will probably be lazy and not go to the bottom to show. It's kind of the same thing they were trying to roll out. I think Matt Navarra also related to with the Twitter app features when they're doing the replies, they're going to remove or hid the engagement, how many people liked it, retweeted, or replied to that tweet to give kind of the balance of replies more equilibrium and not be so, oh, this had a lot of likes. Let me look at this one and not see the other ones. But I still think it's kind of the same boat.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good points. Good points. Christian, what are you thinking, man?
I gotta say, I think this is a bit of a problem. I like the tool, I like the idea behind it, but I don't like the way that it's implemented. So here's what you're gonna have. You're gonna have people that, to Troy's point, like you've got an event going on, people are going to, if you're a big company, you're gonna want to hire certain people. Makes a lot of sense. Helps keep that feed nice and focused. But I don't like it because there's so many marketers, many of you and I both know, Phil, that are going to misuse this tool, and they're going to start hiding things and taking their tweets out that they didn't want people, people telling them the truth, calling them out on certain things and whatnot. I do not like that part. I do hope this sends, information back to Twitter to have them improve the process. For example, some user, again, want to hide a tweet. That's a signal that Twitter could actually improve the quality of the content that they allow on the platform. At the same time, there are a lot of businesses, especially where who will do the same business, and then basically just attack their other business and try to get that person taken offline. They get them taken offline for reporting the accounts or doing things that are just just flagging content, so it just keeps them offline, keeps them busy. So I don't like that perspective.
Good points, Christian. Now check out what Bree Palmer says. Bree says it's like the fire festival, deleting comments that were negative, so no one knew what a dumpster fire it was. Yeah, that's so true, Bree. That's a great point, right? We don't like to see this censoring, for lack of a better term, or moderating a conversation. I mean, it would be like go back and we're having this conversation, and every time Christian makes a point, I hit the mute button.
Basically.
Well, but I hear it, and Christian thinks that he's still talking, but I hit the mute button, and now the rest of the world, and I just think that's wrong. I don't like that. To your point, Troy, the laziness of Twitter, the fact that they're not going to be going through and actually understanding that things are racist or misogynist or otherwise inflammatory. It's like, what are we trying to do here? Like, Jack Dorsey, if you're listening, man, get your head out of your ass and figure this out, because this is a problem. Your whole platform used to be really awesome. Now you don't even let people submit for verification. You randomly pick people for blue check marks just for fun because you like them. I mean, I see some accounts with less than 1,100 followers that are verified. I see other accounts that are over 100,000 that are not. Totally random stuff. I mean, I don't know. To me, Twitter just continues to send themselves down a path to no profitability, which means, I wouldn't, if I was Warren Buffett, I wouldn't give you $1 million for Twitter. It's not worth it. The platform is completely useless when it comes to actual monetization, because I can't target anything. I don't know. That's my rant for today. Sorry, guys.
I felt that. I don't know. I get your point. I don't know what Jack's gonna do. I mean, he created a lot of these own problems himself. Again, the blue verification, because I can't think of that guy's name, but he got verified and he was a total racist and a jerk.
Milo.
And then the whole world broke the internet. Like, wait, what's going on? And then that's how the whole forum thing came out. But then again, we're sending requests to get the blue check mark every 30 days like it's nobody's business. And you're controlling the funnel for what purpose? I think this whole thing TMZ is going to love this. And I mean, one of the biggest appeals of Twitter was what? You post it, it's there. The only way it's not there if you delete it, but it's there. It's permanent. That's something, very tangible. So to take that away, wait, you give us the feature to hide it, but not give us an edit button? Okay, I'm confused right now. So that's just how I feel.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, that's Milo Yiannopoulos. So he's like Voldemort, though. He's he who should not be ever be mentioned again. So bad dude. So Bree says all the platforms need to do a better job of deleting the bot accounts. Totally agree. Totally agree. The only reason bots benefit a platform is because they inflate the number of users. There's no benefit for any human being. None. They're not even, I mean, because they're not even entertaining anymore, right? Some of the initial ones, like the Seinfeld bot, if you'd mentioned Seinfeld, would automatically reply with a silly Seinfeld quote. I thought that was funny, right? But the humor is gone. They set these up, and all they do is crank up the number of fake users, which makes people think that you're not trustworthy from an advertising perspective.
Right.
That's what it does. It's really sad. So, and Barb agrees with that the platforms need to be better. Yep, we totally with you there. So, folks, if you're enjoying what you're getting today, though, make sure that you sign up so you don't miss an episode, don't miss a day. Go to socialchefs.com/daily. Sign up. Christian does a great job of sending out an email every day that'll help you with your business. Again, that's socialchefs.com/daily. So you can get your daily dose and get connected with smart people like our friend Troy Sandage. So, Troy, are you ready for some tools?
Yeah, let's bring it on. Let's do it.
Cool. So it's tool time. Christian, you got some music there for us today, or are you going to sing? What do we got?
I don't have music yet, actually, but we're working on that. And, this is actually one of my favorite parts of the show because I always like finding new and useful tools or hardware or equipment that people can use to improve different facets of their business. And, we've got some really good ones today. And here's the other thing. The reason why I like finding new and interesting tools is because what ends up happening a lot of times is people will start using a tool and everybody learns about it, and then everybody's content looks the same. So, for example, if you're using Canva, Canva content, it all starts to look the same. You can immediately spot, the ones that are made in Canva, the styles and designs. So I'm excited to talk about this week's tools.
Cool. So Gail's with us today. What's up, Gail? A little tool time here. Let's start with Crello. Troy, are you a Crello user here? This is
until I got the link. I never heard of Crello.
No,
to be honest.
Cool.
Shocker.
Well, yeah, shocker. Well, it looks like a pretty cool Canva competitor.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. Yep, I have not used it either. Christian, have you used Crello?
I tried it out. It's a good tool. Here's the thing. I like that they're kind of pushing Canva and Relay that on the other tools to do things a little differently. For example, these designs look a lot more fresh, in my opinion, than what you typically get with Canva. I like the fact that you've got some motion graphics as well, which I think is also very useful versus just using standard static images.
Awesome. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Gail says that it looks pretty. Absolutely. We think so too. So Troy, we need to try this, man. We need to try.
I'll get my graphic design team on and we'll try it out next week.
Yeah, let us know, man. Yeah, report back, send us some tweets and post on our Facebook. Let us know, man, because this does look like a good tool, and you're probably way better graphically designed than we are. So you do that.
Well, I think adding the motion graphic element is very strong and powerful for anything that's moving. Obviously, keeps our eyes on it longer, obviously. And with Instagram, obviously, they'll probably read it as a video. So instantaneous videos, you're really getting that credibility up for your audience, something more powerful than just, again, as Christian said, the more static, mundane imagery style, is really going to give you that pop.
Yeah.
Especially for people who are one-man armies, it'll help you out a lot.
Yeah, and Bree loves animated posts too. And Gail is telling us that she loves that people are making competitive platforms. We totally do too. We think that's important. That's why we don't just talk about the popular tools on Social Chatter. We talk about some of the tools maybe you've never heard of before, because we want to give you alternatives. Because to steal Jay Bear's line, right? Same is lame. Don't be the same. Be different. Do something different, right? So, and if you haven't read Jay's book, it's awesome. It's called Talk Triggers, great book. And his new video series is really good too. So, but check that out for sure. So cool. So Crello. All right. So next one. So this one really, this should have some walk-on music.
We're going to Crello actually. We're going to the next one. So the other thing I want to mention, Crello, there's a pro version, and you get, for instance, custom animated designs. additional animation formats. You get to animate objects. So, for example, if you don't ever do animation because you don't have a computer, for instance, that can help create that. That's where these kinds of tools really come in handy. The other thing I also like about this, if you look at the screen that's here, and this is a really cool feature, basically, where you could freeze an object and have the motion still go around it. And it's very simple. You just paint it out, and and then you're able to create something really cool. So keep that in mind. And it's
cool.
$16.67.
Yeah, less than $20 a month to be different from Canva and to add some cool animation resize, which is pretty crazy. That's really interesting, right? That resize and animation, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'll have to give that a shot one of these months. So Crello, 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 the fastest way to design. Pretty interesting. So cool. Well, the next tool, like I said, should have some walk-on music because it's Be Funky. Pretty crazy, huh? Be Funky. Another interesting photo editor here, freeing yourself from complicated software and design the way you want. So this is another Canva or Photoshop or whoever. I think it's interesting that now we're talking about Canva competitors instead of Photoshop competitors.
Right.
That's interesting, right? That's kind of changed. So Troy, you gonna stick your design team on this one too, on Be Funky, or what?
Oh, we are. We're totally gonna do it for you guys.
Cool.
I think it's funny because now it levels the playing field for people who didn't go to school for the skill sets or have the time to watch hours and hours of YouTube videos to get that next level up, get certifications in that. Obviously, there's some things that you can do on Photoshop and Design Illustrator that you honestly can't do on the platform. But if it's good enough for your user-based audience to appreciate, to still push a call to action to benefit your brand, and obviously, the biggest commodity that you have is time. So if you can save time and still bring forth profit, and effort for your audience on a consistent daily basis, that's a win. I mean, no one's going to really care if you spend 10 hours on a graphic or 5 minutes. If the quality's there and your audience likes it, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great point to make, by the way, about the amount of money that somebody spends on graphic design. You can spend 10 hours and a bunch of money on it, and if you can get the same results that will help your business, it doesn't matter if you spent a couple minutes on it or had somebody spend a couple hours on it. So
yeah,
I'll even add to that, like we're doing right now. We're just kind of like live streaming. Before, many businesses are like, hey, I got to have a full production, editing. You're taking weeks to get it done, polished. Now we're just do it. Just go talk, create in the moment so you can have instantaneous reach.
Yeah.
And to that point, by the way, that's one thing that we do with the show. We don't just try to overproduce it. We try to get the script down, for example, and really add the polish by adding the content, the way we do things, and all that. So, like you said, you don't have to have a lot of equipment in order to make that happen.
Interesting. Yeah. So it's $2, $1.99 for Be Funky Pro. And then they also have an app called Vision with 2 N's. That's kind of interesting. So it's got some cool stuff. Vision is also interesting, splitting some pictures, doing some cool stuff. So yeah, so check that out, folks. It's Be Funky. And Troy will report back with his cool team to talk to us about how that looks. But on that note, Troy, man, you're a great guest, dude. You dropped some really smart stuff today. Thank you, man.
I did. Wow. Humbled. Thanks.
Yeah.
I was concerned because it's so early over here. I was like, how well am I going to do?
You did great, man. You did great. You always do great. So we appreciate you, Troy. So you are Find Troy everywhere on social. Where else can they find you, buddy? If they want to read some of your stuff or get even more connected with the man, the myth, the legend that is Troy Sandidge.
Well, I mean, again, connect me anywhere. I tweet a lot, although the last few days I've been kind of busy, so I'm sorry. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Again, anywhere, just Find Troy, you'll find me there. Website's the same thing. If you connect with me on LinkedIn, please do not send me an instantaneous ad for your product or sales. Just connect with me. I just had to say that out loud. I will not turn away a connection, but if you do that, I'm out. So just putting it out there. But yeah, Find Troy.
Yeah, and Gail just dropped a hashtag SMWL19. Troy, does that mean anything to you?
Social Media Week Lima.
Yes.
I've been practicing that for months to get that right. Jessica, I hope you're proud. Yes, be there. I am first-time speaker. I'm the rookie. I'm like the Spider-Man of the whole social media Marvel universe there. It's going to be great. It's going to be lit. Get your tickets. It's going to be phenomenal. Yes.
Yeah. Well, guess what, Troy? I'm going to be in the audience cheering you on, buddy. I'm driving there.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, pressure's on.
Yeah, baby. So, yep. So up the game. So you'll be there. I'm excited. So, Christian, are you coming to Social Media Week Lima too? And I'll see you too, Gail.
Be there. We'll see.
You will not be.
In the past. I just haven't, kind of been able to get there at the moment. So, but it's a great conference. Definitely one of my favorite ones, actually. Jessica Phillips, just amazing person. Great, just a great team. So, Troy, you're definitely making company.
I hope so. I have high expectations, and the group, the speakers are, wow. I mean, man, you guys are just y'all are not ready. You're not ready.
No. Well, we could I think we're ready, Troy. I think we're ready for you, man. You're gonna make your big debut, right? Do you have like a Ric Flair coat? You put some woo. No.
I'm sharing the stage with two phenomenal speakers I never thought I'd meet in person. So if I don't stutter when I meet them in person on stage, we're good. We're good.
Cool. Yeah, do it, man. Do it. So awesome. Well, definitely find Troy. He's super active on social and a super smart guy. You'll learn a lot from him, and he's really nice too. So he will, even if you're a beginner, he'll be very kind to you. So
thank you guys for both having me.
Here's the thing.
Awesome.
You always have to start somewhere. So keep that in mind. So, Troy,
yeah.
It's been a pleasure to be on the show this week, by the way. I want to be sure we have you back on as well, for a future episode. Phil, always a pleasure as well. To everybody watching, we will have a blog post recap go out tomorrow with these topics. We have a whole bunch of other ones we didn't get to, as well as links to everything we talked about. But we will see you next week at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday with Benson Orlek. So we'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot for joining us, and y'all have a great rest of the week.
Woohoo! Have a great one, everyone. See you next week.